Hello, my name is Nicolas and I'd like today to introduce you to the program key features. The idea is not only to provide you with the main characteristics of the program, but is also to explain a few core concepts that are very important to understand the Interreg Europe program. In terms of topics, the program covers a wide range of topics. There are 6 in total. I'll come back to this a bit later. What I can say at this stage is that almost all issues which are relevant to regional development policies are covered under these 6 topics. Then, when you come to the geographical coverage of this program, we can say that Interreg Europe is also quite unique from that point of view, because it covers all EU member states, as well as 9 associated countries: Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Moldova, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Norway, Serbia, Switzerland and Ukraine. So this program really offers a broad range of opportunities for European regions to cooperate. If we go now to the objective of this program and the way to achieve this objective. According to the regulation for Interreg Europe, this program is there to improve regional development policies. We call them in our jargon regional development policy instruments, and I'll come back also a bit later on this notion of policy instrument. This is a very ambitious objective, as you can see. And how do we achieve this ambitious objective? It's mainly through capacity building, exchange of experience, and under certain conditions also testing innovative approach. And we do this learning process by identifying, disseminating, and transferring good practices that are developed in European regions. This rationale of the program is very important because it has 2 core consequences. The first one is that it is designed mainly for policymakers. The core target group are the organizations that are in charge of the regional development policies. And secondly, it also means that this program is a capacity building program. It's not a research program, it's not an investment program. And you understand from these core characteristics that Interreg Europe is fundamentally different from other forms of cooperation, and in particular from cross-border or transnational cooperation program, the other Interreg programs. Now let's come a bit to the concepts, because what I explained may sound a bit abstract. You understand that we are there to improve regional development policies and policy instruments. What is exactly a policy instrument? It's simple, it's a means for public intervention, and it can take various forms. It can be, for instance, a strategy or a program or a law. They are, in most of the cases, developed by local authorities, and they are applied on the ground to try to improve a local situation, to try to improve a local challenge. So, for instance, it may be an intervention to reduce the CO2 emissions in the regions, or this may be an intervention to improve the social inclusion of vulnerable groups, or this may be an intervention to help the economic diversification of rural areas. All this is related to regional development. We have also a specific focus on the cohesion policy, and you know that this cohesion policy finances a lot of programs within the member states and within the regions through ERDF and ESF funding. These programs are called the Investment for Jobs and Growth Goal programs. And we have a particular focus on this program because we also try to improve the implementation of this program throughout the European Union. You understand what is a policy instrument. Now, I'd like to come back to another important concept, which is the policy responsible authority. If you want to be serious with the very ambitious objective of the program to improve regional development policies, then you need to make sure that the organizations that are in charge of these policies are really involved in the activities of the program. And so you see that this authority are simply the organizations that are responsible for the elaboration or delivery of a specific policy instrument. In most cases, this authority will of course be public authority, but there may be situations where other organizations have a mandate to manage part of the policy instrument that is at stake. This may sound a bit theoretical, all this is a bit conceptual, so I'd like now to come to a concrete example. This is an example from Norway, and this has been developed by a county council in Norway. It's a digital transformation strategy that was developed in this territory, and it is based on 4 main pillars. The first one on broadband infrastructure, to have the access to the new technologies. Another one is about modernizing administration, the digital municipality. The third one is about helping SMEs and the businesses to become digital, the digital innovation. And the last one is more about the citizen and to tackle the digital divide. So you see there a very typical kind of policy instrument that can be addressed within Interreg Europe. It's a source of inspiration for others in Europe. And through this strategy, the county council finance different projects on the ground in this territory. You may wonder then, what do you mean by improving this kind of policy instruments? Because the core objective again is about making things better on the ground. So one of the recurring questions we receive at the program level is, what do you mean concretely by improving regional development policies? With the 20 years of experience that we have now, we have identified 3 main ways to improve policies. The first one, and it's perhaps the most straightforward one, is by financing new projects. If you organize the program on the ground, you may finance different initiatives. And thanks to interregional cooperation, thanks to the exchange of experience, you may discover new ideas elsewhere, and you will finally implement them in your regions. So this is a very concrete way to improve a regional development policy. But there's also many other ways to improve policies. The second category, we call it change in governance, or let's say change in the way you manage the policy instrument. This can, for instance, be related to changing the way you evaluate a public intervention. You change the indicator system, or you change the way you involve the stakeholders, the consultative process in a way to implement this policy. This can, for instance, be also if you open calls for proposals when you want to finance projects, you may promote them differently, better to the applicants. You may change the selection criteria. So you see, there's many possibilities to make the policy more efficient on the ground. And the last possibility, the last category of policy improvement, if we can say so, is about changing the strategy, the policy itself. So it's a bit more challenging. It's perhaps a bit more rare in our project or in our world to see that. But it's really when you modify the document itself. So you can have in a region, for instance, an economic development strategy. Through interregional cooperation, the region discovered that circular economy is a very important subject, is a very important topic also for the companies of the territory. So the region decided to add a new chapter in its strategy dedicated to the circular economy. So this is the way also the public authority can improve their public intervention. Again, I'd like to make this a bit more concrete, and coming back to the policy instrument we've just mentioned, this county council strategy developed in Norway, you see there a concrete example, this is a real example from one of our projects, that thanks to a good inspiration coming in particularly from Saxony-Anhalt, but also coming from Latvia, the local authority decided, based on this input, to develop and to implement 2 new projects, one mainly related to the digitalization of businesses, and another one more related to citizen digital divide, making also library in digital form. So this is a concrete example of the first kind of improvement that we see through new projects. I'm sure you have guessed this. And what is interesting in this kind of example is that you can also estimate the financial impact of this improvement, because you have a budget, of course, allocated to these 2 new projects. In the present case, it's 1.5 million euros. So it's still a significant impact from interregional cooperation. So let's come now to the program scope. What exactly the program can finance? I mentioned at the beginning that we have 6 different topics. And the 5 first topics come directly from the policy objectives of the cohesion policy. So we are speaking about smarter Europe, greener Europe, more connected Europe, more social Europe, as well as a Europe closer to citizens. These are thematic areas in which we finance cooperation, but we are also a sixth topic, which is called governance. And under this sixth topic, we can also finance non-thematic subjects. I've just mentioned a bit before the governance issues, like, for instance, how do you evaluate policies, or how do you monitor the impact on the ground. These are the kind of cooperation that are not necessarily thematic, but are also subject for cooperation in Interreg Europe. You see also there a concentration principle, because the program strategy is to allocate a majority of funding on a limited number of subjects. So 80% of the program budget will be dedicated primarily to what we call Smarter Europe and Greener Europe, meaning everything related to economic development, innovation, but also environmental issues, climate change, risk prevention, in a way deriving directly from the Green Deal strategy. And there will be also some topics under a more social Europe, in particular related to labor market, also to health, which is of course an important topic these days. So these subjects will be part of the concentration of the 80% principle. Last but not least, what are the actions to support this capacity building, this exchange of experience activities? The program does that through two main actions. The first one are the projects, and this is very traditional in Interreg Europe to finance projects. I think any Interreg program in Europe finance projects. And in these projects, you see it gathers a limited number of regions that work together to find new solutions to an issue that they share all together. It may be related, for instance, to a low rate of business creation in their regions. They would like to find new solutions so that there's more businesses created, that entrepreneurship is promoted. They have 4 years to work together, to exchange their experiences, sometimes to test innovative ideas, so that at the end they can improve their public intervention in that domain. But the program is also unique because we do not only finance projects, we also finance what is called a policy learning platform. What it is, the policy learning platform builds on the projects and all the good knowledge and the good practices of the projects. We do not want this knowledge and practices to be useful only at the level of each individual project, but we would like that anyone interested in Europe can also benefit from this good content of the projects. So the policy learning platform is simply there to build on the results of the project and to spread it to anyone interested, to provide permanent services to any regions interested in Europe. And the added value of the policy learning platform is that if you are a region, you're not necessarily have the means, the resources to be involved in a project. You can simply look for inspiration through the platform by contacting the expert of the platform. Thank you very much. I hope this presentation helped you to better understand the program. And in case of question, we would encourage you to contact us whenever you want. We will do our best to help you.